From the outside, Ethan Carter had everything. A mansion overlooking the ocean, a thriving tech company worth millions, luxury cars, exotic vacations, and Vanessa. Vanessa Carter was his greatest pride, his wife of 8 years, his partner, his everything. People envied them. They called them the perfect couple. They didn't know the truth, because perfection is often just a well-designed illusion, and illusions eventually break. It began on a quiet Tuesday evening. Ethan came home earlier than usual. His meeting had been canceled, and he decided to surprise Vanessa. As he stepped inside, he heard her voice from the living room. Soft, careful. No, he doesn't know. Ethan froze. His heart skipped. He didn't move. Everything will be ready soon, she continued. Ethan stepped forward. Vanessa turned, and for a split second, fear flashed across her face. Then it disappeared, replaced by her perfect smile. "Oh, you're home early," she said. He smiled calmly. Meeting got canceled. She slipped her phone into her pocket. Too quickly, too smoothly. "Who were you talking to?" he asked casually. "Melissa," she said instantly. Melissa, her best friend. It sounded normal, but something didn't feel normal. Something felt wrong, and Ethan Carter trusted his instincts. Over the next few weeks, Ethan began noticing things he had never noticed before. Vanessa guarded her phone constantly. She took calls in private. She locked her office door. She started going out more frequently. Her explanations were always reasonable, but her behavior wasn't. And Ethan was a man who understood patterns. He built his company by reading people, by spotting what others missed. And now, he was reading his wife. The real shock came one Saturday afternoon. Ethan was reviewing their financial accounts when he saw something unusual. A transfer, $18,000, from their joint account to an offshore account. He frowned. He checked again. Another transfer, $12,000. Then another, $25,000. His pulse slowed. He calculated the total, $187,000. Gone. Transferred secretly, without telling him, without explaining, without permission. Ethan leaned back in his chair. His chest felt heavy, not with anger, with realization. Vanessa wasn't just hiding money. She was preparing for something. Something permanent. Something final. She was preparing to leave. That night, Vanessa came home smiling. She kissed him. She laughed. She played her role perfectly, and Ethan did the same. He smiled. He laughed. He pretended nothing was wrong, because Ethan understood one powerful truth. Never confront betrayal too early. Let it expose itself completely. Later that night, while Vanessa slept peacefully, Ethan sat alone in his office. He stared at the numbers, the transfers, the lies, the betrayal. He picked up his phone, called someone he hadn't spoken to in years. Daniel Reeves, forensic accountant. Daniel answered. "Ethan, everything okay?" Ethan's voice was calm. "No," he said, "but it will be." A pause. "I need you to track every dollar Vanessa moved." Daniel hesitated. "Are you sure?" Ethan looked toward the bedroom. Vanessa slept peacefully, trusting, confident, clueless. "Yes," Ethan said quietly. "Find everything." Because Ethan wasn't going to confront her. He was going to outsmart her. And when the truth came out, she wouldn't see it coming. Daniel worked fast. Within 2 weeks, he uncovered everything. And it was worse than Ethan imagined. Vanessa had opened multiple offshore accounts. She had been transferring money for over a year. Carefully, strategically, deliberately. She wasn't just hiding money. She was building an escape. Daniel delivered the final report. "Ethan," he said carefully, "she's planning something big." Ethan nodded slowly. He already knew, but there was more. Daniel hesitated. "There's another detail." Ethan looked up. "She's met with divorce lawyers." The words hit like ice. Divorce. She wasn't just preparing to leave. She was preparing to take everything. Half his wealth, half his company, half his life. after secretly stealing from him. Ethan felt something shift inside him. Not anger, not sadness. Clarity. Vanessa wasn't his partner anymore. She was his opponent, and Ethan Carter never lost. Ethan hired the best lawyers in the country. Quietly, privately, strategically, he gathered evidence. Every transfer, every secret account, every lie. Then he did something Vanessa never expected. He protected everything. He restructured his assets legally, secured his company, separated his finances, closed vulnerabilities. He didn't break the law. He used it perfectly. Vanessa continued smiling, continued pretending, continued believing she was winning. She had no idea. The game had already changed. One morning, Vanessa walked into the kitchen confidently. She placed papers on the table. Divorce papers. "I'm leaving you," she said coldly. No emotion, no regret, just calculation. Ethan looked at the papers calmly. "Why?" he asked. "I'm not happy." "A lie." He nodded slowly. "I understand." She expected anger. She expected desperation. She expected weakness. She got none. Instead, Ethan signed calmly. She smiled inside. She believed she had won. She believed she would walk away rich. She had no idea what was coming. Weeks later, the court date arrived. Vanessa sat confidently beside her lawyer, expecting millions, expecting victory, expecting control. But then everything collapsed. Ethan's lawyer presented the evidence. The hidden transfers, the offshore accounts, the financial manipulation. Vanessa's face went pale. Her lawyer froze. She tried to speak. Failed. The judge looked at her coldly. Her credibility was destroyed. Her claims collapsed. Her leverage vanished. She wasn't the victim. She was the betrayer. And betrayal has consequences. Vanessa sat alone in the empty house weeks later. The mansion was no longer hers. The accounts were frozen. Her plans had failed. Everything she tried to steal, she lost. She underestimated Ethan. And now, she had nothing. Ethan stood at the doorway one last time. She looked at him. "How?" she whispered. He looked at her calmly. "You taught me to stop trusting blindly." She felt the weight of her choices. Her lies. Her betrayal. He didn't yell. He didn't insult her. He simply walked away. Calm. Free. Victorious. Because the greatest revenge isn't anger. It's justice. And Ethan Carter got exactly that. The end.